Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Leggero. This is Moshe Kasher. Moshe, glad you're wearing shoes that are covering up your toes today.
You know what? You went pretty hard on the Tevas. I actually got a lot of shit from some Israelis talking about it's called Teva. So whatever, who gives a
Tevas is a better name.
Okay, well, that's the actual name. I got a lot of shit from you, and then a lot of really beautiful support from the listeners saying that Tevas are actually dope and that you're out of touch and that you seem like a fuddy-duddy. And a lot of people really supporting me on this.
Yeah, but I know, and I'm telling you it's ugly.
You don't know that.
I do.
You can't know.
I do.
By the way, we put up that secret last week of the Norm Macdonald obsessed person, and somebody wrote, I bet he's a better lay than you.
About you?
I was like, okay.
People are so mean online.
They are mean online. That is true.
And they're getting meaner on Instagram.
I know. Wasn't it a nice time? There was about a year where on Instagram you left the sludge pit that is Twitter, and everybody on Instagram was like cool and nice. And then all the people on Twitter were like, oh, there's an area where we can go pour poison. What is it that makes people say nasty stuff on the internet? It's very bizarre.
Howard Kramer said it's like when you're young and you look in the car in front of you and all the kids are just flipping you off for fun.
That is.
It's kind of like what the internet comment section
Right, but
is.
the sad...
Why don't we have Howard on the show?
I'd love to. The sad part is, though, that it's not four kids in a station wagon next door. It's like your grandfather.
Right.
And just like in Florida, his brain rotting away because he's been watching Fox News for 9 years. And he's just like, fucking commies. Yeah, you fucking cucks.
Oh, my God. Do people watch the news all day?
Yeah, man.
That's horrifying.
I hear you.
No one should do that.
I agree with you.
Don't ever do that.
Don't watch the news all day. I mean, people do it on the other side, too. I had a friend, he started parroting words, and he was saying this stuff, and the phrasing, I was like, wait, I heard Wolf Blitzer say this. Like, and then I realized he has CNN on at his house all day. It's like, if you're Wolf Blitzer quoting, the news has gone too far.
I hear you.
I hear you, honey. And you know what I'd like to hear?
Some secrets?
Yes. That would make
listen.
my evening complete.
Hey, Natasha. Hey, Moshe. I'm calling in with a secret that is still in progress. I have been plagued by my next door neighbor's dog. They just leave it tied up on a tree next door, and I work and go to school from home, and so I'm here all day working, and it barks insane, all day, all night. Last night it was until 1 a.m. I finally had it, and I gave we have pill pockets for our dogs. I put a little Benadryl in one, and I just threw it over, and it hasn't barked for at least an hour, and it's a newfound peace. I think it's fine, but I think I'm going to keep it a secret because I don't know if it's fine. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.
Yeah, I'd keep it a secret. I wouldn't say hit the neighborhood council with that information.
I think that's something you do after you've called the police or you've called you need to file some formal complaints because the dog seems like it might be being abused.
Time to move.
That's happened to me. I've been there. I do think I remember calling people and no one listening to me. And
what do you do about that?
And then the dog, it was chained up right outside my apartment. And then it was in their driveway, and then they backed out and ran over the dog. So then the dog had a broken leg and was just in a cement courtyard with a chain around his neck, howling all day long.
Oh my God.
And so I would call people, but nobody cares, and you'd complain. And then I think at one point I threw meat over just because I was mad. Or I don't know. I was I just needed to stop, but feeding it, that's no long-term solution. That's a rough one. But giving a Benadryl, I think, is after you've tried some other things.
No. That's never. That's never.
I can't say I wouldn't have done it. No, I probably wouldn't have. Because he had a cast, the little dog. I felt bad. It was actually a big dog. You know those huge puppies? It was like that. It was like an 80-pound puppy.
What are you supposed to do in that situation? I
tried to give them dirty looks every time I would see them, the family.
I mean, really what you're supposed to do is go talk to your neighbors and say, but the truth is, when you have neighbors that have chained up a dog that's barking all hours of the night, there's no possibility
that you guys are on the same page.
Yeah, and that the conversation's going to go like, oh my God, I had no idea that this was bothering you. I'll take a much more reasonable approach. They're going to be like,
It's like trying to convince someone to get the vaccine.
it's exactly. It's worse than that because they're just, they're off for sure. I don't know what to do in this situation. I would love our listeners to write in and help this person because I'm at a loss. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, any tips?
I know that
I mean, we've had the police called on us before, and they've come here.
I know that a bad neighbor can ruin your life, and we had a bad neighbor.
They said our heater was making too much noise, and then they called the police.
This person was insane.
And then the police came and just started laughing when they heard it.
Yeah, it was our pool heater.
She said that it was making her dog stay up all night.
Yeah, and one time she called the police and no. She said that she had to take her dog to the emergency room because there was a loud noise.
And one time she called the police for a loud noise, and I was vacuuming.
And so I spent $1,000 on soundproofing to put around the heater, and she still started complaining. So I said to her, this is what I said to my neighbor. After I spent $1,000, I said to her, look, I spent $1,000 on soundproofing. I think that it was quiet before I did that. Now it's as quiet as it will be, and I am no longer going to be involved in this situation.
Right.
Don't ever come to my house. Don't ever call. Don't ever knock. Don't ever even talk to me about this again. The next time you have a problem, call the police. And she did. And then the police came.
And they laughed.
And they laughed at her.
And then the lady moved.
And then she moved away.
That was pretty cool.
That was a great day. And now
But just because you spend $1,000, Moshe, doesn't mean the problem's taken care of. But there wasn't a
No,
problem.
what I'm saying is I was done dealing with the problem. I spent $1,000 when I should have spent $0 because she was tripping in the first place.
Well, she seemed like maybe a little off.
She was definitely off.
Because she would come over, she would start ringing our doorbell at 3 a.m. and she was hearing things.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
She thought it was from us.
I mean, I had other neighbors when I moved to Los Angeles. This old couple living next door to me, and they go, "Hey, do you think you could keep it down after 7?" And I was like, "No."
Wait, someone said that to
Yeah.
you? Keep it down after 7?
And I said, "No, I won't be able to do that."
Good for you. He knocked on the door and asked you that?
Yeah.
And when he said keep it down, what did he mean? Because
Like
you're not
watch
that loud.
movies, have friends over, like anything.
No watch movies?
Yeah, and I just was like, no. And in my mind, I was like, look, like, it sucks that this neighborhood is like a cool neighborhood now, and it probably wasn't when you moved in here, but like, that's not reasonable. 7 p.m.
And then what did he say?
He moved.
Interesting.
No, but they accept. I mean, they do. What could they say? I was like, that's not reasonable. I'm not doing that. I said I'll keep it down after like 10 p.m., but I'm not 7. Where are we living? Is this a early retirement community in urban metro Los Angeles? Like, no, it ain't happening.
I hear you.
But he heard me. I think that was the problem because we had real thin walls, and back then, I wasn't a married man. That's probably another secret.
Hi, Natasha and Moshe. First, I just want to say that your podcast has kept a smile on my face throughout the pan. So
Love
thank
it.
you. I have a secret. I work in a medical setting, in a professional job, and my office does not get cell reception. So for a while, I was using an empty office that had a window to be able to send text messages. And this is probably about 2 or 3 years ago, and that this particular office is on a hallway with other medical professionals, some doctors, and the walls are very thin. So I'm in there waiting for a text message to send, and all of a sudden I hear the doctor in the next office on the phone, and I can tell that he's talking to his wife, and he said something along the lines of, "Hey, baby," or "Hey, honey, I'm in the mood for lasagna tonight, and you know what that means." Little pause, and he was like, "I'm in the mood for sex." So I've never heard of lasagna meaning that, and I find it hilarious. And now, like, every time I see him, I can't, like, not think about it and crack up. And if someone has lasagna at lunch, I find it absolutely hilarious, and I want to like tell people at work, but of course I can't because it's not professional. There you go. Nude to lasagna.
I mean, these are just like squares, kind of like trying to like talk about sex with each other,
Well,
and they call it lasagna.
how bad is their code that he's got to like both say the code word and then say what it is? He's like, I'm in the mood for lasagna. You know what that means? Sex, intercourse.
What was his profession?
He's a doctor.
He's been reading, like, medical journals his whole life. He doesn't know how to talk to a woman.
Although, to be honest, lasagna is slightly sexual.
Why?
Because
it's like a vagina?
Yeah, it's got like pussy lips. You know those ribbons, It's got little chochas. Is that a different podcast episode? They all blend together. The point is, I think there is something erotic about lasagna.
I think it's cute that they found that together.
I mean, it's just so funny to me.
Inside jokes are nice.
Yeah, but maybe he was joking. Because that'd be a fun joke to be like, hey.
Doctors aren't that funny.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They can't be because they're always reading stuff that's like very dry.
Right.
You know what happens to me when I start reading something dry?
What's that?
I stop and then start doing something fun.
You know what happens to me when I get really horny?
What?
I go out for Italian food. I get a little bit of lasagna, if you know what I mean.
Are you in the mood for lasagna?
Your lasagna? To be honest, Natasha, you make a mean lasagna.
That is the one thing I know how to cook.
Yeah.
But you don't like cheese, so I never get to make it.
Oh, I'm not talking about real lasagna. I'm talking about when you pound it.
Okay, let's take another secret.
One more secret, huh?
Let's do it.
Hi, Moshe. Hi, Natasha. I have a secret. I guess it's something like I probably wouldn't tell anyone, but it's just been kind of something I've been doing. So I'm pretty against watching porn, I guess most porn, because it's pretty unethical. So I try to go based on like my thoughts when I masturbate. And there's this like dresser across from my bed, and whenever I turn off the lights, it kind of looks like the outline of like someone in my room. And so whenever I masturbate, I kind of pretend that it's someone watching me, or someone who's like broken into my house who's just like secretly watching me masturbate, and I come harder than I've ever come before. And so that's my secret. Thanks. Bye.
I like it. Why is porn unethical?
I like her because she's like, I don't like porn because it's a bit unethical. So instead, I indulge in my breaking and entering sexual assault fantasies.
Wait,
I
why
guess
is
it's a
it
victim list.
unethical?
You'd have to ask that lady. I mean, there's a lot of opinions on porn, and it's whether it's ethical or not, and it's like, I don't know. Is it ethical? Is it not? Some is, some isn't. Everybody everybody's kind of making their own decision to do it or not do it. So I don't know what I don't know what my opinions are on how ethical porn is. Some of it is pretty nasty, for sure. But I don't know. What do I? That's why I limit my porn intake.
How much do you?
I only watch it from about 11 to 11:15 p.m. every night.
I do notice.
I got a hard rule that after that, I'm done. Making a little joke about how I'll masturbate to it.
No, I know. I was just thinking about how all my creams are always missing.
What? Why would you bring that up? You know what I'm noticing is that my ricotta is always missing. Because you're always making lasagna, if you know what I'm saying. Making lasagna with your creams are always missing. You think I use creams to masturbate?
Sometimes.
I do it with sandpaper.
Gross.
Wet sandpaper.
Gross, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, this has been really fun.
It's been pretty cool for me too, honestly. I like this, and I like you. And more than that, I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. Well, let's go eat some lasagna, if you know what I mean.
Sounds good.
Let's have sexual intercourse with each other. Lasagna.
Okay.
Garfield. Let's go read a Garfield comic, if you know what I mean.
Okay, bye.